Hello everyone and welcome to our last tie of the day, which pits the Arkansas Matrix against the San Diego Stingrays. We've had the coin toss, not coin toss, it's that time of the night. We've had the coin toss made by a dignitary from the world of Mexican baseball. Who's the team?
The Charros del Jalisco, who are the local baseball side who play in La Liga Baseball Mexicano, the LMB. And once again, both Bergamini and Lucia have been shopping for baseball caps.
Or given baseball caps. Possibly.
Potentially. One did not come my way. I had to make the purchase. No, it's the CH that you see represents the Charros on the little baseball symbol. They are the local baseball side here. Baseball being a hugely popular sport. Probably the number 2 sport behind
football.
The world of football, yeah.
Anyhow, quickly, Claudia Jensen, we saw her and Lucia Sanz play yesterday. They won their opening match.
They did. They did in 6-3, 7-5 style against Marina Lobo and Sofia Saiz.
Exactly. And they're taking on Bea Caldera and Patti Llaguno. Patti, another one of the sort of first generation, really, of players. Still right up there in the rankings, though.
18, which is, at the age of 40 to be ranked at 18 in the international stage is nothing short of impressive.
Both her and Bea Caldera, she's ranked 19th she's 19th in the rankings. She's just 24 years old, so once again both Lucia and Patti playing with younger partners.
I mean, this is a game, when you look at it on paper, Paul, and obviously paddle is not played on paper.
It's played on our very, very lovely Adidas courts. Thank you for feeding me that line there, Paul.
It certainly is. But you would think this is a game that is impossible to call, given that the rankings 17 and 14 relating to Lucia and Claudia, and Bea at 19 and Patti at 18.
It's really close. Players who have got very good defensive games. Patti and Claudia, we know, experts, know which shots to play. Claudia's one of the best lobbers in the game.
Yeah.
Lucia, we saw her control in everything and just that little extra bit of aggression. I think this could be really close, and I think this is another one where you're looking at 6-4, 6-4, 4-6. Well, along those lines. There's been no 6-1, 6-1s at all in the tournament so far.
No, I mean, I think the word parity we've used time and time again. We've used competitiveness, and I think today's last session between both men and women will offer more of the same. Again, this is a tough act to follow because we've seen probably the most electric game of the 2 days here in Guadalajara prior to this game. Cancun against the opposition.
Absolutely. Cancun
in
against the LA Beat.
And this is the penultimate game. It will be capped off by the men playing Arkansas. And again, this is
another one that's quite even. I think Del Castillo and Inigo Joffrey against Chozas and Bergamini. I'm going to slightly go with Bergamini and Chozas, but once again, I don't think there's going to be a lot between them.
And this is interesting. We're seeing a team play for the first time, and we've seen a lot of teams now on their second spin. We've seen Cancun now. They've played their 2 kind of league games, if you like, and the same with the Stingrays. They were in action yesterday. And again, hoping to do enough to get a ticket for Sunday's action, which you would think, having won 2 from 2, they just need 1 of 2 wins from tonight, and that should be good enough.
Remember, it's separate for men and women for tomorrow. But okay, the Stingrays. Yep, if they win, I'm pretty sure they will be there on Sunday. Not like in San Sebastian where they won both of their matches and still didn't make podium day.
Yeah, I mean that's incredible.
Amazing. The problem might be how close the win is, okay? Because They had 8 points against them, 8 games against them yesterday. Didn't drop a set, but 8 games against them. So let's say if they 6-4, 6-4, 16 games against. The question would be, perhaps, would you be playing in the final, or would you be playing for third and fourth? Obviously.
Yeah, it's a question to get the calculators out tomorrow evening at the conclusion of day 3 and see how things shape up for podium day, which will be on Sunday.
Obviously, they and the Cancun Waves are the second team to play two matches, but obviously the Cancun Waves aren't going to be there because they were narrowly beaten in both. Say, for example, look at the LA Beat one. Imagine the Beat win again tomorrow. Obviously, they'd be at a disadvantage because they dropped a set against the Waves. Whereas if the Stingrays could win in straight sets, it would therefore, put them
in prime position.
Talking theoretically, but
no, I mean it's all speculative at this point. I mean we've still got a whole day of action to take place tomorrow.
And then podium day on Sunday.
As we've seen here, anything can happen. So Arkansas in red.
It's another quite cool kit, the Arkansas red kit from the town of Lovell, Arkansas. They have the only, it's a paddle club, it has the only paddle courts in the state at the moment, or at least at the moment the website was written. I mean, have leagues, clinics. The Arkansas Matrix Paddle Club, as I say, in Lovell, Arkansas. If you're in the area and you fancy and you like what you're seeing, that's the place you should be going to.
Take it away, Lucia.
Calm down, everybody. Thank you very much. Well, into the net of 15. Once again, I was just for a second doubt, was that in or out?
My initial reaction, I have to say, Paul, was that hit the glass. I thought that was out. But
just in there from Bear.
Ooh, just too long.
15:30. Just seeing the Stingrays, one of their sponsors is Chocolate Passion. That's a good sponsor to have, isn't it? That. I wonder if they're giving out freebies.
Always seemed interesting to see Lucia serve backhanded from this left-hand side, and then opting for the forehand option on the other side.
Beer puts that one into the net. Switching the angle there, Claudia Jensen. That's long, it is indeed. 30.
Second serve opting for the right-handed version. Interesting combination of serve techniques from Lucia.
I suppose it means if you're receiving, you can never quite adjust to any, can you? What was she going to do this time? Clever little fake smash. Actually, maybe just a fraction too much on it. Well recovered by Patty. Oh, lovely, lovely, lovely shot there from Patty Llaguno. And we start off with tremendous shot. And once again we start off with a break of serve. I mean, the numbers weren't quite right there on the scoreboard. Had me a little bit thrown there.
Just a bit of confusion there about that point, but I do think Patty put the ball into the net, and as a result...
Did she touch the net maybe?
Yeah, I think quite clearly the umpire, who is the man in charge, has made the call, and it's 1-0 to the Stingrays.
And it's Bea serving, Bea Caldera. And that was a wee bit long, 15 all. Played there by Bea Caldera, and that just goes long from Claudia Jensen. 30-15. (40-15). Goes long, that return of serve. So 1 game all.
And a strew of errors there from both Claudia and Lucia. Pretty much handing the second game to the Matrix.
Okay, it's Claudia Jensen now to serve. A buzz of atmosphere around the court. Well played by Lucia.
I did like the dynamic yesterday that we saw between Lucia and Claudia. It's kind of like a big sister, little sister vibe going on, Paul.
Yeah, well, Claudia, she's literally half her age, but she certainly doesn't take up a subordinate role or anything like that. She's a top player in her own, very, very top player. 30, love.
You can see, though, there is a degree of respect towards Lucia, and I think the same applies to the figure of Patty. I mean, both players 40 years of age, but they've been there, seen that done it in the game of paddle.
(30-15). And so nearly got that.
Another deft shot from Claudia.
And that's a nice little shot in return from Patty. Once again, sees the gap. Into the net. So 2-1, everything going with serve at the moment. And you can just see this looks like this is going to be another one of those close matches, doesn't it? All the Stingrays caps.
I'll add that to my wanted list.
Well, get down there afterwards. Fortune favours the brave. Yeah, that's quite a cool little cap. Very summery.
Yeah. It's a nice way to engage with the fans and create a little bit of a bond and a little bit of a profile.
Yeah. Bit of an image.
Yeah.
Do you reckon he's one of the footballers that we were told about? Or was he just a man in the stands there?
He did have a football player sort of vibe about him, Paul, yeah. We were told there would be two Chivas Guadalajara players here tonight, Alan Pulido, the striker, and A.N. Other. That certainly wasn't Pulido, who I would recognise, but it could have been a teammate.
It might not have been. It might have just been somebody who looked like they might be a footballer.
Yeah.
Well played by B. It's one of those moments when you commentate football matches and sometimes the director focuses on the director of the game focuses on the director's box or the VIP box in the ground, and there's like 3 or 4 people there, and you think, oh, the blooming heck are they?
Don't recognise him. Don't recognise him. Don't recognise him.
Well, there were some celebrities. Well played again, Lucia Sanz.
I like the way both Lucia and Claudia combine with each other. Claudia, as you said, is renowned for her defensive attributes, and Lucia can still pack a punch with that smash, given the circumstances.
Exactly. 40-15. Well played. Lovely backhand there from Patty. 2-all. That's gone a long way. You're talking about the punch that Lucia can still pack. That was power. It was also the technique, though, getting the top spin on it. Yeah. Watching it climb up the side.
I mean, these players make it look so easy. And I can tell you that it is not an easy shot. To pack enough power to get the ball out of the court requires a huge amount of proficiency.
And again, aggressive stuff from Lucia Sanz. 30-15. One played from Claudia as well, getting power in that bajada. And served out very quickly. Well played. 3 games to 2. Everything going with serve at the moment.
Going at a fair old pace too, Paul. 5 games, 15 minutes. Again, we haven't seen anything what you'd call a extensive rally at this point.
No, quite surprising. Looking ahead very quickly, we'll give you a full after these matches today, we'll give you a full schedule of what to look forward to tomorrow. But on Saturday morning we kick off or get underway with the New York Atlantics again. Another time on the early shift. They take on the Houston Volts, which will give us another chance to see Ivanchu Ramirez and Alberto Garcia Trabanco. Then it'll be the Las Vegas Smash against the LA Beat. The Florida Derby, the Miami Paddle Club against the Flow Rider Goats.
Orlando-Miami clash.
Love 15. Mistake there from Bear. And she read the fake smash, but just got too much on it. 15 all. technique to do that is also not an everyday talent, is it? That.
No, I mean you've got little or no wall to work with, and she pulled a real rabbit out of a hat there, Paul. That was great technique. Again, Lucia is brimming with confidence. I think both Lucia and Claudia, they work well together. They work off each other. Again, didn't see any moments of doubt or of insecurity yesterday. Great from Claudia.
Really well played. Break point all of a sudden.
I mean, they feel like a team, a well-balanced team, well-drilled, well-oiled, and like I say, both players complementing one another.
That's another little shot, actually, just changing the racket angle again.
I mean, those shots, I would say there's as much art in those as big thunderbolt smashes, Paul. Actually, maybe even more, because there's a creative element to it too, and there's actually more technique required to carry off a shot like that.
Well, that's the debate we were having earlier, isn't it? Do you want to see biff bang power, or do you want to see touch playing longer rallies? That's gone long. Golden point. And there's this very much a fence sitting on. I think there's a time for everything.
Yeah, I mean, we saw in the previous game, which
was tremendous fun.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
But if you were learning a paddle, what would you learn from that? If you were sort of like a lower intermediate player, what do you really learn from that? You learn more from this, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, the level of paddle I play, Paul, I pick up way more from watching the likes of Lucia and Claudia, and I see things that I would try and bring into my game, as opposed to the big smashes of Dolito, because I'm a long way away from that, and it's not my style. There's more of a kind of a chess element to this, of moving things around. I mean, the big smash game too has that element of creating the space, making the space, taking advantage of that space that you create through power. And I think there's a little bit more of a creative art element at play here, and I think generally within the women's game.
Just keeps that in there. Claudia's serving to consolidate the service break, to go 5-2 up in this opening set, and Patty puts that one into the net.
I think the ball may have touched Claudia on the way to the back court. Anyway, the point goes the way of the matrix. Was that in, was that out? There's a question that Lucia is also asking. Impossible to see from that angle. We haven't had any controversy regarding Cole's pull today or yesterday. There was that brief thing earlier on from Sophia Sanz in her game. She questioned one of the calls in the super tie break.
Yeah, well, it was whether someone had hit the racket had hit the net, wasn't
exactly,
it?
Yeah. Which quite clearly, watching a repeat, we saw that wasn't the case.
So anyhow,
that was deemed to be in.
So it's 30-15. Takes it on, Beer. So the Matrix, it's been basically a mix usually of Bea, Patti or Araceli.
They reached the final of San Sebastian, Paul, is that correct?
No, it was months ago, it's completely slipped my mind. Hang on, I'll check on you. I was there, I should know. They did, I think, yes. They did indeed. It was a relatively comfortable win though for the goats, which was Gemma, Triay and Arantzazu.
Five-2. It just goes to show that these are no pushovers in terms of opponents, and Claudia and Lucy are making light work of the job so far.
Well, the women's final actually was close. It was 7-5, 6-4 to the goats. And it was Patti, Llaguno and Bea Caldera played. Araceli, I don't think she played actually a game in San Sebastian.
And we've yet to see the lineups for tomorrow's match day, and it'll be interesting to see if Bea gets the nod. Sorry, if Araceli gets the nod ahead of Bea or Patti. But again, having that extra player does give a coach the option to cherry pick.
Well, yeah, and I think as well, if you brought a player, you Sebastian.
Guarantee that young gentleman drinking the beer is not a Chivas Guadalajara player. They have a game tomorrow evening, and I would imagine that will be frowned upon.
Wouldn't be, and you wouldn't want to be doing that in public, would you?
No.
You say frowned upon. Playing really well here, Lucia and Claudia. It's a great winner from Lucia Sainz.
It's just been really solid, Paul, and really just balanced, and Lucia delivering the odd smash, just as Patti gives one of her own.
Just in. Again, Claudia opts to lob, and this time gets too much on it, which doesn't happen that often. 30-15. Oh, well done. Brilliant shot. And just what you have to do. Gets it in, but then keeps it low so it doesn't give any option to return it. Brilliant.
Mistake there from Lucia.
So 5-3, and it'll be Lucia Sanz serving for the first set.
Lucia keen to get on with it.
Couldn't really do much with that one. Love 15. Well recovered again, but on the back foot here at Arkansas, but they're still in the point. And she's gone into the net, so don't think it would have mattered anyhow, because Lucia would have put it into the space. But there you see, just touching the net or the pole. $15 all.
You can almost sense the positive vibes between both players from here, Paul.
Frustrating into the net. 30-15. Great winner from Caldera. They do work well together, don't they?
Yeah, it's really nice chemistry. Great to see.
Oh, had the chance there. Puts it into the net. 40-30.
I think we made this same observation yesterday, Paul, but both players look like they're enjoying themselves, and ultimately that's why.
It's a bit like the Ted Lasso philosophy, isn't it? If you're happy, you're enjoying yourself, you're your best person, you're probably going to play your best sport. And well played, Lucia. She'll have enjoyed that. There is the first set, 6-3 in 31 minutes. .31 minutes that set.
Yeah, it's not turning out to be that closely fought contest that we envisaged from the outset.
I think that just about reflects what we saw in the first set, with the Stingrays just a little half a level above the matrix at the moment. But let's not write off the matrix. Remember, finalists in San Sebastian, putting up a pretty solid fight as well against Triay and Aranzazu Osoro in that.
I mean, if the form book is to be followed, Arkansas win the next set. That's what we've seen. So, I mean,
No, without a doubt. Every time there's been something different, hasn't there?
Yeah. I mean, one thing you cannot say about this tournament is it doesn't lack any mystery. We've seen so many games where the first set goes one way and then the losing side in that set are fired up, come out of the blocks in a blaze of glory, and take it to that third set.
Okay, it will be Bea Caldera to get us underway with the first serve. Well, if the adage is correct, then she is going to hold her serve here. And that's a bit long. That's a lovely shot from Claudia Jensen. Uses both hands on it. Just moves her hips as well. Angles it diagonally across the court. Lovely shot, love 15. All. Wasn't this another one of those? I wasn't 100% certain if it was in or out.
Yeah.
And you can't always tell from the reaction of the players either. Yeah. Ooh, Patty snatches at that a wee bit. That's 15-30.
There's been a little bit too much of that from both Bea and Patty. I think that tendency to snatch up points, to just maybe lack that little bit of composure.
Yeah, just a bit long. Second serve. Got a chasing back and not quite sure what happened there. Let's have a look. That's just simply doesn't. It just goes low, doesn't it? You can't get a racket under it and round
again,
it.
The amount of spin ensured that the ball bounced wickedly.
It's 15-40. 30-40, I was going to say. Is this going to be the game that changes, well, basically everything that's happened so far in these 2 days here in Guadalajara? The seesawing fortunes from set to set. Second serve. Long, and we start off with a break of serve. So the people who won, so the pair that won the first set have started the second by breaking serve. It's almost unheard of.
They are not following the script here, Paul.
Ad-libbing. We have got more illumination, haven't we, in the roof of the well, we'll talk about that in a moment. Here is the heat map for Lucia Sanz and Claudia Jensen. There's no sort of one concerted area, is there? It's a lot of play from a bit further deep.
And very symmetrical too, Paul.
Looks like an attack of measles, really, all the dots there on the court. Just come back to the court. They've got more illumination up there, haven't they, tonight? I'm thinking.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, there was elements last night where they were dimming lights, they were brightening them. There was certainly times where Fede Cingotto was troubled by the lighting.
Yeah, definitely. I must confess, from the commentary position, every time the ball went above the stand, I just completely lost sight of it. Yeah. So I don't know what it was like for the players. So Lucia serving to consolidate that service break. Claudia taking responsibility down the middle. 30 love.
From what we're seeing, Paul, it's And I can't see any green shoots here for the Matrix. I just see Stingrays super dominant, confident in every department, outplaying their opponents who really don't have an answer.
Certainly a good little period for the Stingrays. Ooh, does well there, Lucia, to get it back after it flicks off the net cord. Well played this time though by Patty. 30-15. And now 30 all, so all of a sudden the seed has pushed through the soil.
Yeah, that was a tired effort there from Lucia.
I think that was a bit long. It is indeed. Ooh, get out of jail free card, that wasn't it? Just under a bit of pressure. 40-30. Confidence play, isn't it? From confidence shots all the time from Claudia. There is the second game. 2 games to love at the start of the second set for the San Diego Stingrays.
It's a showing not dissimilar to that of what we saw yesterday. Just a real, just get on with it kind of attitude.
Yeah,
Lucia occasionally delivering the big bombs, but it's just composed play. It's just feet on the ground type of paddle. No complications. No playing to the gallery type shots.
but very effective.
Yeah.
It's Patty serving. And left 15 down. Well played, Lucia. Love 30.
Again, there was a small line that she could have managed to channel that shot through, and the precision once again was just breathtaking.
That's better. 15-30. Hit decisively there.
Yeah, good to see that Paddy can dish it out too. But again, big shots like that are all far too sporadic from the Matrix, Paul. It's one shot maybe per game where they show maybe signs of what they could do if they just get that consistency together.
and long there again. More break points, 3 break points.
I mean, you really can't say any way back. A 3-0 lead in the second set.
If they win this, it's 2 breaks as well. It's not just 3 love and you've got 1 break. It's 3 love with 2 breaks, so it's much more difficult. Got to win it first, though. Well, they have won it. 3 games to love at the start of the second set for the Stingrays, who have taken a big positive step towards this match. And as we were saying, what might be really important as well is if they can win this without conceding many games, that would be a big factor if they wanted. They want to A, get to assure a place on podium day, and B, would it take them to the final or 3rd or 4th place? Because let's remember, in San Sebastian they won both matches but still didn't make podium day because they had lost more sets and games than their rivals, which means that basically they'd won but there were closer matches.
If they could keep it 6-love, 6-1 in this second set, surely that would do them a power of good in that quest to get back here on Sunday. I'd actually go so far as to say that from what we've seen over these 2 days, Jensen and Sanz are my favourites
For the whole competition?
for the whole competition. Yeah.
If they get to the final. So I think they didn't drop a set though, did they? On yesterday, they dropped quite a lot of games, but not a set.
Yeah, I mean, it would be a hugely cruel twist of fate to win your games and then be deprived of a place in the final.
Oh yeah, no, I think that was. I'm just looking at.
But I've yet to see a more complete couple, and a couple who just complement each other so well, who understand each other.
And level of play as well.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you that. I think. I'm looking through. Who would I say? Maybe Arantxa and Nuria Rodriguez, but you'd need Nuria to be very much at her best.
Yeah. And Arantxa was erratic this morning. She had some dips, managed to bounce back, but no, I think in terms of the most regular, solid.
See what the Volts were like. See what the Volts do tomorrow. If Caparrós and Marta Barrera.
The 2 Martas, yeah. Yeah, Barrera was impressive in that opening game.
They won 6-1, 7-6. So if they get a good win, 15 all.
That was out, yes. It was called out too. Again, one of those marginal shots that until you hear the umpire give the final verdict.
15-30 then. And 30 all well played. Claudia Jensen again taking control of the point. And once again just changing the angle of her racket, moving the ball across the court.
I do get a sense of let's just finish this now from Claudia and Lucia.
Wow. I think she's saying, whoa.
Was that intentional?
When you apologise, you tend to think it isn't,
Well,
but I would be
precisely.
going, look at that, look at that one I've just hit.
Yeah, I don't understand why she apologised. I mean, it was a wonderful shot. Why apologise for excellence?
Yeah, exactly. And 4, love up. It was a stunning shot. Love 15, obviously that hitting Patty.
Obviously, at a professional level, the answer to this question is never. But at what point do Patty and Bea think our goose is cooked? I mean,
but the thing is, and it's actually something that Julia Polo said to me in the break between games, we were saying about how long, how sessions were getting quite long to commentate. And how every match was really close. He says, yeah, but of course every game is important. Even if you're losing, it's still worth trying to dig in and win another game, because it might in the end be decisive.
Yeah.
In whether you make it to New York, or whether you're 5th or 6th, or who you get in the next.
Or you come back here on Sunday.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Third Dior, well played. And plus, I don't think you ever want to lose a set to love, do you? Just for pride.
Yeah. And it would be the first 6 love in the tournament, if my memory does not fail me.
It would indeed. There's been a 6-1. But not a 6 love. Ooh, another 2 more break points.
Again, it's a stat that we don't get to see, but Bea's percentage level of unforced errors is
rising,
alarmingly high. Yeah, I mean, it's not an aspect you want to focus on in any player, but
I played Patty, forcing a golden point.
Second of the night, well, of this particular session. Sorry, this particular game of the session. You know what I mean.
I know what you mean. So there's another really slightly mishit shot there from Bea, who is a very good player but not having a good night. 5 love to Lucia Sanz and Claudia Jensen. I must confess I didn't expect this in the second set, but this is the one that has broken basically the rule, isn't it? It's the exception that proves the rule, but it's a bit of an exception.
Yeah, I mean, we actually said before this game, this is probably one of the closest games to call.
Yeah.
Based on the rankings and based on what we see on paper. And it's defying.
And based on the performances, because Patty and Bea were finalists in San Sebastian.
Still 8 minutes before the hour mark too, so it's being played at quite a nippy pace too.
been a lot of Cancun Waves t-shirts given away this evening, looking in the crowds.
Right, here we go. Lucia serving in what could be the last game of this second set.
53 minutes played so far. Another unforced error, really. 15 love. It's 30 love.
Again, that's a wonderful shot. Again, it's not a shot that's going to get the crowd in raptures, but it's just the artistry and the ability to find
leaving
the
the rival unable to return. You know, that's
and
the thing, isn't it?
It's, yeah, again, wonderful play.
Just called out there. Ouch. Adding injury to insult, really. 40 love.
But also setting up a match point, well, a series of match points.
4 match points. I honestly didn't think this match would finish under an hour.
No,
It still hasn't finished, but I think it probably will in with the next 4 points. Really well played by Lucia Sanz and Claudia Jensen, the Stingrays. Romp home, 6-3, 6-1 in 55 minutes. I have to say, it's a surprise, not that the Stingrays win, but that the Stingrays have won so convincingly, so easily. There's poor old Araceli Martinez. She must be thinking, oh, give me a run out tomorrow, give me a chance.
Yeah, I mean, that's a game that really defied any expectations pre-game, and for me was just a wonderful example of just solid, no-nonsense playing from Lucia and Claudia, playing as a team, just delivering the goods, making the opposition generate mistakes.
It's just a really good performance though from the Stingrays, isn't it? And I think we'll definitely see them, and they deserve it because, as I say, it was obviously there was Vero Verceda there in San Sebastian. But I say, if you win your 2 games and you don't even make podium day, that is very harsh. So they definitely deserve to be here again on Sunday. I'm convinced they will be. The only question is in which category. Will they be finalists or will they be 3rd and 4th? It'll depend on the number of games any other team that wins two matches does. But let's be honest, all the matches have been really close.
Yeah, I mean,
so somebody's going to have to pull out a really convincing win.
Unless we get a slew of 6-love, 6-1, 6-2s.
Okay, here we are with Pia.
Pues me encuentro ahora con Lucía y con Claudia.
Once again, it's time to catch up with Pia, with the victorious duo. Smiles all around from Claudia and Lucia.
Bueno, primero, gracias a Guadalajara por asistir a la PPL.
Claudio thanking the fans, always generates a warm round of applause.
De poder estar acá, nunca había estado en Guadalajara y la verdad que estoy muy feliz. Y nada, felicitar a Lucía por adaptarse también al revés. Y nada, feliz por la victoria y bueno, dar la enhorabuena a Pati y Bea por el nivel
Happy
también.
to
y
win,
nada, a
and
seguir.
thanks, Patty.
Lucía,
And
una
Bea
jugadora de tu experiencia,
for being
¿cómo mides cuando debes de tirar un smash,
solid
cuando
opponents?
debes de fintar, cuando tienes que buscar el espacio, que tú, Claudia, eres muy buena para buscar el espacio, tienes un microsegundo para pensarlo, ¿cómo lo haces?
No, la verdad es que es intuición, la verdad es que con Claudia está siendo muy fácil adaptarme, hay veces que me atrapo y la que está siendo veterana es ella, así
If
que
you're just reflecting on
agradecerle que me lo
how
haga tan
Claudia
fácil.
has adapted
Y nada,
to
quería
partnering
desear mucha suerte a los charros
herself.
pasado en Monterrey.
Pues ahí está. Muchísimas gracias a Lucía y a Claudia. Un aplauso muy grande para ellas,
And
por
the
favor,
smiles
que han ganado
tell
hoy
her
muy
own
bien
story,
su partido.
beaming
Gracias,
Lucía
chicas.
Sanz and Claudia
les voy a
Jensen,
pedir que-
and we will see them again here in Guadalajara.